Hello and welcome. Welcome back to the Queen Rising podcast. I'm your host, Misty. I've been working with women since 2015 on realigning their energy, resetting their confidence, regaining their confidence, and embodying their feminine energy. And in 2020, I went and got certified as a life path astrology reader. So I can look at your natal birth chart and understand maybe some of the things that make you, what motivates you, how the best ways for you to make money, where you're out of alignment, how to nurture yourself through self-care routines that maybe are unconventional and something you don't always hear, but it's unique to you. So today we're going to talk about the Taurus full moon that is happening on November 5th. I am really loving this full moon, but before I pull up the chart, I want to share with you a few things that are coming down the pipeline and some opportunities for you to work with me. So first of all, the whole month of November, I'm running a 21-day radiance challenge. So, this is to help you increase your energy, your confidence, and your feminine radiance so you can feel more like yourself and you're going to go into the holiday season with a natural glow about you. So you can find more details. I'll leave the link below, but I also am sharing more and more about that on my Instagram at the Misty Anderson. And this challenge is rather spur of the moment. I just put it together in the past couple days, just after touching base and connecting with more and more women, some of my past clients, and figuring out where they are and what they need from me and how I can help them, how I can serve. And there's a lot of women that are struggling right now. They're struggling with energy, burnout, confidence, self doubt, stressed mentally, emotionally, financially. And so I put together this 21-day challenge to help you increase your energy, increase your confidence, and so you can move into 2026 like the badass you are. So I hope you join me for that. There will be prizes. I'm still contemplating on what prizes I will be giving away, but going to give a couple modules away of my Rise and Shine course, and I may even give a couple modules away from my Aligned Body Blueprint course that is currently in the making. So I know maybe you're getting ready for Black Friday, and a lot of business coaches are talking about Black Friday, but the past few years, I have not felt super aligned with Black Friday offers. And also, Mercury is going into retrograde, and we can talk about more about that when we open up the chart. When Mercury is in retrograde, is not a great time to launch anything. And a lot of people are going to be going through mental cartwheels. And what I wanted to do is do something different. How can I give back? How can I help nurture people instead of just trying to get you to buy something that maybe you don't need? I really want to help prep you for the new year. So that is what the 21-day Radiance Challenge is all about. So I hope you join me for that. I'm going to be talking about, but I want to mention it now so I don't forget, an opportunity for to work with me one-on-one to help embody your birth chart. So in 2021, I created a course on the magnetic money code, and we talk about certain places in your birth chart where you're most suited and aligned to make money. But I am restructuring that program, and it's going to be like 3-4 times better than what it was. So also in 21, maybe it was 22, after I created that course, I found another modality of astrology, another teacher, and she taught me about the 3 levels in your birth chart. So you have 3 different levels in your birth chart. So if your business is no longer feeling aligned, or if your job is no longer feeling aligned, you may be moving into the next season of your life or business. And we're going to talk about that in my one-on-one container. And I'm going to help you understand what is your level 1, what is your level 2, what is your level 3, and where are you right now? What are the things you need to work through and embody to master whatever level you're on right now so you can move into the next level? And yes, ever since my divorce, I'm super passionate. I want all women to understand how they can make their own money, not needing to rely on a partner. So that will be all baked into this one-on-one offer. This is a VIP offer. It will be double the price the next time I offer it. So that's going to be $2,500. We're going to be working together for 4 months. You get some bonuses, and I'll talk about that a little bit later. So let's talk about your chart. Let's talk about the full moon because I love it. Let me share my screen. So, can you see this full moon chart? So, we have the sun in Scorpio at 13 degrees, and the full moon is in Taurus at 13 degrees. And we have a full moon when the moon is opposite of the sun. Now, in this 13-degree mark, this is in the second decan of Taurus, Scorpio, and things may get political. We may see political things coming out into the open, secrets being revealed, because Scorpio is all about secrets and Taurus is about abundance and harvest and enjoying the fruits of your labor. So what I'm seeing and getting from intuitively from this full moon chart is, rather than feeling jealous or secretive of other people, how can you embody abundance and fertility for yourself? It's not about looking out at what other people are doing, what other people have, but staying in your own lane. And how can you cultivate your own garden? Taurus is an earth sign, so it is about the earth. It's about fertility. It's about plants and earth life and harvest. It's about planting your own seeds. Taurus is the second sign of the zodiac. So it is about, like, over the past 6 months since the Taurus new moon that we had in the spring, what have you been cultivating over the past 6 months? What are those seeds you planted and you've been watering, and how are you harvesting that? And one thing I noticed about this full moon chart is it's squaring, the moon and sun are squaring off with Pallas Athena in Aquarius. So Pallas Athena is here at 9 degrees in Aquarius. So because these are all fixed signs, Scorpio, Taurus, and Aquarius are all fixed. So this is creating a square. It's a loose square, but I'm still taking it. The full moon is at 13 degrees and Pallas is at 9 degrees. It's still close enough where I want to take it. And Pallas Athena is about strategy in a masculine world. It's about resources and strategy and what is the plan. And Aquarius is like a free thing. Pallas in Aquarius is like this high regard for independence. How can you overcome your demons? It's about growth and evolution. So looking at your past patterns and understanding that growth is doing the opposite of that. And that is what we do when we work with your natal chart. And that's exactly what we'll be doing in my new VIP one-on-one offer, is we will be looking at specific degrees of the planets in your chart and what does this mean for you. And there, every sign has a low vibe and a high vibe. And so there's a lower octave and there's a higher octave. And how can we move from the low vibe to the high vibe? The high vibe of this Taurus full moon is about being very ambitious, very abundant, very fertile. The low vibe is more about secrecy and being envious of others, jealous of other women. It is about women holding on to the patriarchy because that's what keeps them safe. It's all they know. And so we're seeing this play out in the political world right now, where a lot of women are holding on to the patriarchy because their husbands are helping them feel safe and secure. But when the husband turns on them and women start losing their rights, we're noticing that holding on to this patriarchy isn't doing us any favors. So we see this theme several years, we've seen this theme of women supporting women. However, when we get to the bottom of it, they're not really supporting women. They're envious of women who have their own independence. They're envious of women who have a better life instead of looking within of how can I create my own best life. And we've been fed a bunch of lies about the best way to create an amazing life is to marry a rich man. No, that isn't always the answer. But you have the power to create your own best life, whether you have a man or not. The other thing that I'm going to talk about is not in direct connection with this full moon, but it's in the same sign. It's in the sign of Taurus. So I want to talk about part of fortune is opposite Lilith. So Lilith is in Scorpio, and Lilith is the dark goddess. I think we talked about this in the last moon video. We talked about Lilith was Adam's first wife, and she refused to submit. She wanted to be this wild and free woman that had her own ideas and didn't need for a man. She wanted to be Adam's equal. However, Adam wanted power over her and she refused to submit. She flew away and she became independent. So we have opposite of that is part of fortune. And your part of fortune is your money mindset. It's about cultivating your own abundance. And what do you need to cultivate your own abundance? And we talk about this in my VIP one-on-one containers. We'll be looking where your part of fortune is and how do you create your own fortune. But this part of Taurus, it is about the earth, working with the earth, working with nature. It's about reaping the harvest. And it is about releasing your attachment and envious and jealousy of other women. And how do you stay in your own lane? How do you cultivate your own abundance despite what is going on in the world? Another thing I want to bring attention to is it's not part of this full moon, but it's happening around the same time as this full moon. And so it's something we're probably going to see in the world. We have Mars just moved into Sagittarius, and it is opposite Uranus in Gemini. So Mars opposite Uranus can bring chaos. Uranus is the planet of rebellion, change, chaos. And when Mars is opposite of that, Mars is the planet of drive, your motivation. And one of the next episodes I drop, I'm going to go into your Mars sign. So watch out for that episode. I'm going to talk about what it means for you and how to work with your Mars sign in your chart. But Mars is opposite of Uranus. It can bring a lot of chaos. However, if we work with it for our good, it can also bring breakthroughs. This could be a way for you to break free from old ways of being, old mindsets, old ways of doing things. And so I just want you to be open to new opportunities. What if you did things different? We still have a water trine happening here. You may get new insights, you may get epiphanies, you may get spiritual downloads. You may be able to tap into your intuition even better than normal. We have Jupiter in Cancer, trining Lilith in Scorpio, as well as Saturn and Neptune in Pisces. So Jupiter is the planet of luck and abundance. And in Cancer, it does very well here. We talked about Lilith in Scorpio is the feminine rebellion. She wants freedom and liberation. Saturn and Neptune in Pisces. Saturn is the planet of hard work, hard life lessons, discipline, responsibility, doing things that need to be done. But Neptune here is all about dreams and illusions. And so you may just have new dreams that surface. Pay attention to your dreams, literally. Pay attention to new insights, are you finding yourself daydreaming? Do you have a new goal? Maybe your old ways, your old goals no longer fit and you're being open to dreaming again. Now, Saturn and Neptune are in Pisces, so this may have to do with an old goal, an old dream is maybe coming back up to the surface, and it's an old goal, an old dream, but now with that Mars opposite Uranus, now you're seeing things differently, and maybe you're going to approach it differently. You're going to take different actions to get to that old goal. So the Magnetic Money Code VIP, if this is something you're interested in, you want to work with me more in depth, I just did this for myself. So if you keep an eye on my Instagram pages, they're going through a rebrand right now. You can pull up a natal chart for anything. So I've been working with my natal chart personally for quite a while, and I'm working on embodying that. But I recently went into the details of my business chart, different programs I've created, and like, what was the day those were created? You can look at your business. If you have a business, my business, I use the day I started a Facebook page. So I have a chart for the day I started this podcast. And what were the energies that were playing out at that specific day and time? And how is that trying to be expressed through my podcast or through my business? So for the VIP Magnetic Money Code, we're going to specifically look at your 3 levels of business. Your first level is your personal empowerment, like your confidence levels. We're going to help you understand what is your purpose in this life. We're going to start to work with your personal brand. What do people know you for? What do people really want from you? What is your reputation? Who are the people you need to surround yourself with? What is the home environment you're going to feel nurtured in? Because all of that makes such an impact on how you're showing up for your business. We're going to look at your Mars sign and like, what are the things that's driving you? What are the things and ways you be motivated to show up? In your level 2 business, we're going to look at your niche. We're going to look at who are the people you're supposed to serve and what do they specifically want from you. We're going to look at your offers and what kind of programs should you be putting out? How do people want to work with you? We're also going to be looking at your Venus sign on your ideal income streams. And also, we're going to dress you for your personal brand. So, how should you be expressing yourself visually? Makeup, hair, your wardrobe. And then on level 3 is all about your ascension. And this is your higher level self. If you were going to write a book or speak on stages, what would be the topics that you would probably gravitate to? We're also going to be looking at your Jupiter sign and how you attract abundance and how you can incorporate more into that into your business so you're always attracting more abundance to you, more expansion. So if that is something you want to do, I have an application process. I'm going to leave the link below. You can fill out the application and I'm happy also to jump on a free call and help you understand if this is the right move for you.